Hey everyone, in today's video, I want to talk about the cost of living adjustment that'll be announced in October of this year. That's 2023. Now, I know it's too early to talk about this. There's no way to know for certain what inflation is going to do this year, and thus any predictions about the cost of living adjustment are just wild guesses, right? But there is a reason I want to go over this, and it's important. There's the possibility of something we haven't had to deal with in a long time, and for those who are recently retired, it could come as a shock. So today, I'm going to lay this out and get you thinking about the next steps. So let's look at the numbers, and we'll take it all the way back to January of 2020 when this inflation started. On the left-hand side, you see the index levels for the CPIW. That's the index that's used to determine the annual Social Security cost of living increase. Now, to measure the year-over-year change, they use the average index level from July, August, and September. So, for example, the cost of living adjustment announced in October of 2021 was the percentage change in the average index from July, August, and September of 2020, and then compared to the same months in 2021. And that increase in benefits was 5.9%. And then the same for 2022. The average from those 3 months in 2021 was compared to the average in 2022, and that resulted in an 8.7% increase. So it's the index level from the 3 months in 2022 that'll be compared to the July, August, and September reading in 2023 to determine the cost of living adjustment that'll be effective next year in 2024. And of course, we don't know yet what those numbers will be, but we can look at some projections to forecast this. Last month, the CPIW declined by 0.5%. Now, if that was to continue, the index reading would certainly be negative year over year. But at this point, inflation doesn't even have to continue down for us to get a negative cost of living adjustment. If it stays unchanged, flat, between now and September, it'll be negative. Now, this doesn't mean that your benefit is going to go down, just that there will be no cost of living increase, because there is a provision that says that in years where there is no positive change in the CPIW, thus no cost of living adjustment, then benefits will remain the same. So they can't go down due to negative inflation. And then there's another piece of the cost of living adjustment rules that say that if there's no cost of living adjustment, then the July, August, and September index level from the last year that produced a cost of living index is the level that will have to be beat to produce the next COLA. So the last reading from the CPI that produced a cost of living adjustment is the high water mark that any future increases will have to be compared again. This means that if the increase of inflation we've had over the past 2 years starts to subside and we go through an extended period of no inflation, it may be a while before you see another cost of living adjustment. Now, that's some pure crystal ball stuff because we have no idea what's really going to happen with inflation, but all the signs are pointing to the same conclusion. The Consumer Price Index, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, and the Producer Price Index are all painting the same picture. Inflation has peaked. So why does this matter? Well, let's look at the cost of Medicare. There's still some funny business that happened with last year's premiums and how they lowered the premium for this year. It still isn't clear if this year is lower because everyone paid too much in 2022 or if what we're paying now is the real cost. But it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a healthy increase in the cost of Part B Medicare. This means that if Social Security doesn't increase, but Medicare does, could you see a benefit reduction? Well, maybe. Most people won't due to the hold harmless provision. Now, I don't want to get into too much detail in this video on how that provision works. I'll save that for its own video when we have a better picture from some of the inflation reports. This wouldn't be the first time this has happened. Since 1975, there have been 3 years where the cost of living adjustment to Social Security was 0%. And in all 3 of those years, there was an increase in Medicare Part B premiums. This happened in 2010, where there was a 14.6% increase to Part B. In 2011, where there was a 4.4% increase in Part B premiums. And 2016, where there was a 16.1% increase in Part B premiums. Now, thankfully, there's a provision in place that says most people can't see a reduction in their Social Security benefit amount due to an increased Part B Medicare premium. This is known as the hold harmless provision. But there are certain people that are not covered by this provision. The first group of individuals who are not covered by this rule are individuals who are on Medicare but do not receive Social Security benefits. The rules say that you have to be entitled to Social Security benefits for the months of November and December and have your Medicare premiums deducted from those benefits to qualify for the hold harmless rule. So if you've been waiting to file for benefits until some age after 65, you'll have to take the full increase to Part B premiums. The second group are those who are turning 65 and enrolling in Medicare in the year of the premium increase. And then the third group are those individuals who are classed as high income and thus subject to the income-related monthly adjustment amount, the IRMA. And I just talked about this in a video that I released last week. So if you want to watch that, go back to my channel and check that out. Now, there's a lot more to know about the hold harmless provision, but just rest assured that I'll be watching this as it develops. And if we continue to see these declining inflation numbers, I'll be here talking in much greater detail about how this provision works and how to get covered by it. You know, all of these crazy rules like this really highlight the importance of working with a financial planner who has a deep knowledge of all of the retirement issues and is committed to walking the journey with you. Now, if you'd like to see if my firm may be a fit for you, I'm going to drop a link down in the description where you can get in touch. Thank you so much for watching.